Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, you fuckers! Welcome back to Glen's Reviews for Mistress Peace Theater, where we talk about movies, TV shows, video games, toys, anything related to horror. As you can tell by the nerd pad here, it's Christmas here. But possibly by the time you see this, it won't be Christmas. But Merry Christmas. I hope you had a Merry Christmas if you're seeing this after Christmas. Anyway, I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite Christmas movies ever since I first saw it. There's a lot of movies I watch during Christmas. Of course, the Charlie Brown Christmas special. I watch Batman Returns. Ghostbusters 2 is a must. Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Watch all those every Christmas. But you gotta fit in the horror, right? Horror goes with Christmas just like peanut butter goes with jelly. Anyway, let's get this party started. This little gem came out in 2015. I don't think it got a theatrical release, but I always remember seeing it in the straight-to-DVD aisle at Walmart for like $10. And if you look at the cover, anyone would automatically look at it and say, well, it's a ripoff of Krampus, which is a better Christmas horror flick. I disagree. I love this one over Krampus. Anyway, you could kind of classify this movie as an anthology movie, much like the Twilight Zone movies or the Creepshow movies, only there's 4 stories going on all at the same time, and they're all intertwined with each other, all taking place within a small town called Bailey Downs. There's one thing tying them all together. 2 kids got viciously murdered the Christmas before at a coven. There's a lot I want to get through because I really like one main part of this movie, so I'm just going to try to rush through each one of these stories the best I can while still being descriptive within 5 minutes. Anyway, the first story of the movie takes place at the coven where the 2 kids were murdered the Christmas prior, and it follows a girl and her 2 guy friends looking to find any paranormal activity that's going on at the coven to see if they can capture anything. And little do they know, it is haunted. It's haunted by the ghost of a student that used to go to the coven who died at the hands of these sadistic nuns who gave her a really lethal abortion because she was, single, unwed mother, and that's, goes against the rules and shit. Anyway, the young girl gets possessed by the ghost and forces her to have sex with her 2 friends in order to try to conceive a child that she couldn't have. I don't understand how that works. I mean, you have sex, and a ghost wants you to have sex, you get knocked up with someone else's kid. How are you having that ghost kid that couldn't have the kid to begin with? It doesn't matter. Let's move on. Second story is about a family that go onto private property looking for a Christmas tree and end up losing their son in the woods. Their son ends up going into this interdimensional doorway to another world, much like the Upside Down in Stranger Things. The son goes in, but what comes out is not the son, even though it looks like him. It's actually a monster called a changeling. And the mother figures this out later on in the movie when her husband is brutally killed. The third story is about a troubled family who ends up going to a relative's house just so the husband can make some sort of a business proposal to this family member in order to swindle her out of some money to keep his business going because he's failing at everything, I guess, and doesn't want to lose his wife and his kids and all that stuff. In the middle of it all, they end up unknowingly releasing Krampus. Fourth story going on is by far my favorite in the whole movie because it's something I've always wanted to see ever since I was a kid. I've always loved Christmas. I've always loved Santa Claus. I love the concept of something evil threatening Christmas. This story goes throughout the whole movie. Beginning of the movie, we see Santa Claus on Christmas Eve trying to get the rest of the toys all together, trying to get everything set in place so he can go on his journey to deliver Christmas to kids all over the world. He's making the elves bust ass to really get this stuff done. It's very Christmassy before it all turns to shit. Now, I'm assuming the reason the ensuing incidents happen is because of Krampus, from what Santa Claus says later in the movie. The elves start turning into zombies, and it's fucking great. Especially when the first elf starts to turn, and they offer him a cookie to keep his energy up, because Santa Claus knows something's up with him. He's like, well, you gotta keep your energy up, we got Christmas tomorrow, and the elf is just like, I told you I don't want a goddamn cookie!
I said I don't want a goddamn cookie! You reindeer f***ing so hard!
It's brutal, it's fucking great, and it's awesome seeing Santa Claus kick a bunch of zombie ass. Before the end of the movie, where he ends up actually fighting Krampus, and it's awesome. It's everything you'd want to see. Santa Claus fighting Krampus. Before it leads to a big twist that I'm not going to spoil for you, but it's tragic, yet awesome at the same time. It was really, really well put together. Now, there's one person tying this whole movie together. The movie begins at a radio station on Christmas Eve with William Shatner as a personality named Dangerous Dan. He's playing music, getting into the Christmas spirit. It's nice to see William Shatner in this role. He's actually a lot of fun. I know his name is Dangerous Dan in the movie, but while watching this, I can't help but feel like I envision him as Ralphie from A Christmas Story, all grown up. Obviously, they couldn't use Ralphie.
Son of a bitch.
But I want to think that maybe that's what the director was going for. Like, we all grew up with A Christmas Story. It's a great movie. And then once you grow up, you get this. And that's the grown-up version of Ralphie. And he's seeing all this madness go on in Bailey Downs. This whole movie's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I don't really see much of a problem with it. Honestly, the pacing is all good. It's enjoyable all the way through. All the actors are fairly decent. And the stories are interesting. You want to keep watching it to see where this all goes. There's a lot of twists and turns, especially towards the end of the movie, that kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. It's a fun, action-packed horror Christmas classic. The special effects are decent. It's mostly all practical effects, which I like. The only major CG that was in the whole movie was at the beginning when they show Santa's workshop. And it didn't look that bad for such a low-budget feature, which is pretty cool. If I'd have to rate this movie, I'd easily give it an A-. It's around that region. The movie will deck your halls, caress your balls, and shoot Christmas cheer right up your brown eye. Now, as much as I love this movie, it can't be perfect. The movie itself is alright, it's the marketing and how they put this movie in the stores that bothers me. Now, anyone that watches my YouTube channel outside of Mistress Peace Theater knows that I'm not all about identity politics. I don't like censorship. I don't like social justice politics ruining stuff, and I don't like it when people bow the knee to these guys that want everything to change, that are offended over everything. Now, a lot of you know, over the years, a lot of people were offended by the word Christmas. They were offended by Santa Claus. They don't like it, because everything offends some of these people. So look at this cover, okay? This is the DVD case. It says A Christmas Horror Story. Honestly, the social justice stuff was addressed in the movie, because there's even a part where a girl makes a comment about, yeah, there's a war on Christmas going on.
This is a nativity scene. The school didn't put it up this year.
You can't openly display a nativity scene anymore. It's the war on Christmas.
Now, if you would have went to the store the Christmas this came out, you wouldn't have seen the plastic sleeve right away. You would have seen the cardboard sleeve. Therein lies the issue. They changed it to holiday to try and sell the movie to anyone that might have got offended by the word Christmas. Come on, people. The thing is, you made a movie that was going to offend anyone anyway if they would have opened it up and saw it and gotten sick to their stomach by some of it. 'Cause there's a lot of grotesque stuff in this movie. So why the hell wouldn't you just go the extra mile and just get rid of that altogether and say, F it. It's a Christmas horror story. That's what we signed up for. That's the title. And that's my story, and we're sticking to it. I gotta go. My name is Glen Lenz. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas. If it's not Christmas yet by the time you see this. But I love all you guys. Thanks for watching. And I will see you guys next time.